Hi, this is John Martinka, and I am here with my good friend CPA Marc Hutchinson. Mark is the managing partner of Hutchinson Walter, our CPA firm in Bellevue, Washington, and he is one of the most entertaining CPAs you will ever meet. We've done an event together many times, and he always steals the show on the panel discussion with his comedy and his props and his jokes about taxes, if there is such a thing. So, Mark, welcome.
Thank you. You set me up for making a mistake, so it'll be funny, I guess.
So, Mark, what are you seeing with your existing clients? Obviously, there's a wide range of businesses that have just, thriving, and some just doing okay and some hurting. So give us an overview.
Well, fortunately, most of our clients are fairly financially stable, so we've watched them survive this. And from our standpoint, we were very fortunate that we were set up for people to work from home for flexibility purposes, or actually we originally did it for snow purposes. So the good news from our CPA practice standpoint is, even though 4/5 of our CPAs went home to work, we still were able to function effectively, and we were able to continue with our tax season and continue to service our clients. Of course, we've had a much closer watching of the daily economic and financial policy and civil unrest and whatnot, and we've been assimilating data, and we watched it, and we made some adjustments to our policies and our paths, and we tried to assist clients as they were doing the same thing. So we've worked fairly closely with our clients, and so far most of them are doing pretty well. We've had restaurants that usually do 200,000 a month, and they're down to 65,000 a month. So it's certainly been painful for some of those clients out there.
So have you seen some of your clients? This is something pretty unique that we've never seen before in our lifetimes. And are some of them saying, "Hey, I've done this before. I've been through this before. 9/11, the dot-com boom and bust, the Great Recession." Are they just saying, "Hey, maybe it's time, and I'm not gonna have to do that little fixing or struggle through it. Time to get out"?
We've had a fairly large client that is selling themselves, and I think they were planning for doing this earlier, but it may have accelerated things. And the good news is there's still buyers out there. It's kind of amazing with the lower interest rates. I think people are willing to spend more, so the clients that are selling get a little bit more than expected. And certainly in real estate, we've seen lots of volume, actually increasing of prices, and pretty healthy real estate market. So it's been pretty healthy. And is this the right time? Once again, I'm thinking of another large client, somebody John, and they're selling themselves for the second time in 5 years, and they're stepping up and getting more money for it. So for those people that were going to get out anyway, they might be experimenting with it, but of course you have to have healthy revenues, and you have to have a good EBITDA, and you have to have the good business basics. So for those clients that are in that mode, then it's a good time for them. You also asked about how are the clients viewing it that I know of. And the entrepreneurs are smart people, and they're used to taking a longer viewpoint down the time tunnel, if you will. And I think they see us getting through this. Now, we all thought it would be less time. Now it looks like it might be another year or 2 years till we get through it. But I think most of them are willing to wait that out, unless they want to get out anyway.
Okay. So as a CPA, when you're working with a client that's buying or even selling, what are you emphasizing these days? Anything different than normal?
Well, of course, you hope for your buyer to have some solid financial, savings and stability. I think also you probably want to keep your existing management team on longer, because you want to keep stability in the clients that they're selling to, and having the same people in place, even if you've sold yourself, that helps a lot. So probably we'd look for that more. Once again, I mentioned that we're watching data a lot closer on the economics, looking at aged accounts receivable? Are people paying on time? You probably have to spend more attention to collecting older accounts receivable. So there are things you do differently, and there are policies and procedures that you put in place to monitor things closely. It's getting us back to basics, I think. Really
Okay.
good business basics.
What about as you look at due diligence, and what about the PPP loans? How are those fitting in if it's a buy-sell deal?
Great question, John. There are many of those PPP loans out there, and they really helped because when things were grimmest, the doomiest part of this whole scenario, all of a sudden the PPP loans became available. And thank goodness to the bankers and the federal government for rolling this out, because they made it very easy to get these loans. So we saw a lot of people getting the loans. And then the question marks were, how do I keep it so that it's forgivable? And we helped them create some spreadsheets, some lead sheets, and we were on top of it and helping them to monitor it and everything. And those loans helped when it was really needed. And now it's coming, helping the bottom line. So what would I look at? I'd look at the two comparatives, of course, June versus June of last year, May versus May of last year, and see what kind of impacts was it having. And so they might even end up with more profit. You never know.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Have you seen any different deal structures in any buy-sell deals? Are you seeing your clients more earn-outs or more seller financing, stuff like that?
Sure, they ask for that. And, it depends on the business. Like a lot of businesses are based on earn-outs. But, the SBA, again, has really stepped up to the plate and actually maybe made it easier to get an SBA loan. And with these low interest rates, people can afford that. So it still gives a big chunk of dough down. And if they want seller financing, then, if they get 50% down, then they're more willing to do that. What you don't want is to sell your business to someone and then have some reason to take it back over, and maybe it's not as strong as it was when you sold it to them. So I'm seeing a lot of cash deals. I'm still seeing a lot of cash deals.
Okay. So right now we've got a few clients that are being aggressive. They're looking to grow by acquisition within their industry. And for some of these businesses that maybe have been hurt a little bit or a lot by the virus and the shutdown, that may be their only option. Are you seeing clients being a little more aggressive in that area?
Actually, yes. I mean, I feel like there are people looking, and maybe they sense weakness by certain people. So, you mentioned perhaps people were going to get out anyway, but now they really want to get out, just in case something else happens. Everybody's waiting for the next shoe. We don't know what it's going to be, but before anything else changes or any more instability comes, they're looking to find some solid buyers. So I don't know. I don't see any people crying, "Oh, I got to get out right now." But maybe they're not talking to me. Maybe they're talking to you and your business associates.
Okay. So I'm going to finish up, and then if you have anything you want to add that we haven't talked about, but for your businesses, the clients you have, which ones have done well during the virus? What types of businesses?
Well, we mentioned real estate. They're doing quite well. We're seeing, especially in our area, the Houghton, Bellevue, Kirkland area, we see offers in 3 or 4 days, and so the realtors are doing well. They're doing better than previous. I've seen a lot of action in the commercial real estate area when we go to the Washington Rental Housing Association. I don't want to dismiss this because it's a very horrible thing that's happening. And we had to really change our business model. We're very cleanly. We were able to get a lot of masks and sterilizer and all that and take people's temperature and all of that. But it hasn't changed much for us. We were deemed to be essential workers. And so, John, we're doing 95% of our business just like we were a year ago today. And so we haven't seen too much change in our business. So fortunately, most things are holding up. I think the systems that were in place are still working. And we're in a bright spot in America. Let's face it, we're in this bubble, in Bellevue, Seattle area, even though I'm not sure I'd want to be in downtown Seattle right now. I'm glad I'm in downtown Bellevue instead. But even with that, it's just interesting times, and we adjust to it and we get through it. I think we're hardworking, smart entrepreneurs, and we get through it.
Okay. Well, Mark, I appreciate your taking the time to do this and sharing your thoughts with others who are going to see this. Uh, as always, it is good to see you and talk with you. So I thank you.
Oh, thanks, John. Always good to talk with you too.